Hey everybody. So as you know, if you've been watching my channel, you know I've been covering the love and drama Huntsville. I know it's called Love and Marriage Huntsville, but truly, it's been nothing but drama. And I've been covering it. I've done several videos on it. And if you are not looking to hear another video or listen to another video, I suggest you turn it off. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because I've saw a video yesterday where Unwind with Tasha K interviewed none other than Martell Holt's side piece. Okay, she did a phone interview with Arionne Curry. And I watched the entire episode, and she also basically had a podcast featuring Funky Dineva, who I love, and Storm Monroe. Now, I have to say, Funky Dineva is actually the reason why I even started watching Love and Marriage Huntsville. I watch a lot of Funky Dineva's reviews for reality shows, and I got to be honest with you. A lot of them I had no interest in until I started watching his reviews, and then I just like, okay, I got to watch this show. And that's how I ended up watching Love and Marriage Huntsville. I was actually kind of surprised that Tasha K interviewed Arionne, and I kind of felt like something was coming because a few days ago, she posted on her community tab a picture of Martell and Arionne looking like they were taking some kind of helicopter ride. And she also posted on her IG, and she kind of had been hinting that something was coming. I'm just thinking, oh, okay, so she watches the show. She keeps up with the drama. As it turns out, she's never watched the show a day in her life. Not that a vlogger has to be invested like that to truly understand what's going on or to even like get in the business of these people. But she's not invested. It just came off in this podcast that she did that she's just not invested. No, Funky Dineva watches the show. Obviously, Storm Monroe says he watches the show, but Tasha K truly just did this just because that's what she does. She's a vlogger. So that was just kind of interesting. Now, Arionne stayed on, well, I don't know if this was like edited, but Arionne was on this phone call. The phone call was maybe a little over, maybe 12 minutes or so. And I'm going to post the link to Tasha's video so that you guys can listen for yourself. I won't ever be able to do it justice. And I was actually kind of surprised as to how she sounded. But I definitely wanted to talk a little bit about what she said in the interview, because I've done videos, other people have done videos. There's been a lot of information out there that's erroneous. It's not correct. And Arionne seems to straighten that out in her interview with Tasha K. Like I said, they did it over the phone. So I'm just going to go over a few things that stood out to me in this whole thing. First things first, Arionne states to Tasha that she would have been with Martell for 5 years in March, and that she actually believed that at some point he really was going to announce that his marriage wasn't working anymore to a Melody, and announced that he was separating from his wife again, because remember, they were separated. They are truly only together for the show. A lot of people put that out. I also told you guys that they are only together for the show. And Arionne confirmed that when she pretty much, in such a trifling kind of way, I'm going to need you guys to really listen to her on the audio. But in a trifling kind of way, she kind of laughed about the fact that her and Martell pillow talk. And they talk about these kind of things. And she brought up the fact that Melody wasn't even living with Martell when the show got picked up. Melody had actually had her own apartment. They were separated. And when the show got picked up, in the producers' call, the producers told them to fake it. Even though Melody and Martell told them that they were no longer together, the producer said, fake it anyway. And that's what they've been doing, okay? Now, another thing that came up in the interview with Tasha is that she met Martell in 2015 in Huntsville through mutual friends. And he basically hasn't left her since. She laughed that off too, like kind of like, ha ha ha, he hasn't stopped messing with me since. He can't leave me alone. Just real trife. Now, it also sounds that at some point, she was living in Ohio or had lived in Ohio. I don't know if she lives there now, but she was in fact living in Ohio, because according to Arionne, the night before their third child was born, before Melody and Martell Holt's third child was born, he was visiting with her. And that's what Melody told her. And Arionne also bragged about how Martell was with her right before her and Melody, before he and Melody appeared at the homecoming, their homecoming recently. If you follow either one of them, you saw their homecoming pictures, and she was bragging about how she was with him right before, as if that's some kind of prize. Because honestly, oh child, it ain't no prize to be with that man and then he goes back to his wife. It just, I don't know how she could sit here and laugh and think that that's cute. There's nothing cute about it. I don't know. But let me keep going. All right. So also Arionne brought some other stuff up that I thought was, again, very, very interesting. Like I said, I sat and listened to this interview probably 2 or 3 times just to make sure I did not miss a thing. Okay. Because I'm nosy like that. Now, according to Arionne, again, Martell told her that he would never let her be on the show, because I talked about, like, well, maybe she's auditioning for the show. Maybe she's going to be on the show. He told her he will never let her on the show. Not ever. Because one thing, Melody, I believe, has an EP role. She has an executive producer credit. I don't necessarily think she has any. I think it's more symbolic than anything. And he said that Melody would never allow this woman to use that platform or to be on that platform. And Arionne also said some shit like, Melody would never let the world know that her husband had his tongue in her asshole. That's exactly pretty much what Arionne said. Again, laughing about it. All right. Now, one thing that I want to clear up that I was wrong about, and I've seen other people put out, is that Martell bought Arionne a Benz, and that's actually not true. She actually had a Benz before meeting him, but he did buy her a car. He bought her a BMW. And she, Tasha K asked Arionne, what's the most money that Martell ever gave you, ever at one time? And she said, oh, he gave me about $5,000. Like, so he did give her money. All right. Now, that ain't what's interesting. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Arionne goes on to reveal that when she would need to get her car fixed, like the BMW, the Benz, whatever, that Marceau would pay. Marceau, yes, Marceau. Okay, Tish husband. Marceau would pay to get the car fixed, and Martell would pay him back. I don't know if Martell was trying not to leave a paper trail, or I don't know what that was about. It just seemed really weird that she said it, but she said it. She said that Marceau would pay to get her car fixed, and then Martell would pay him back. All right. And that she's known Marceau for a long time. They've spoken a few times. Martell used to bring her around Marceau and Maurice all the time. So they are very much aware of her. She's known them for many, many years. And it's interesting to me because, remember, if you recall, Martell tried to throw Marceau under the bus about him out there cheating. And even though Marceau, he's controlling, I'm not a fan of Marceau. He seems like he just has his stuff a little bit more together and under control if he is, in fact, out there doing that. But I feel like if a man feels comfortable enough to cheat on his wife in front of you and you help him, then perhaps there is something to that. Maybe Marceau is out there doing something. I don't know. Because I just found it interesting that Marceau kind of helps Martell cheat. You know, men just do, men have a code, right? Just like women have a code, girl code. Men have a code too. And it's just, I just found that interesting because are they covering for each other? Because again, if you watch the show, you know that Martell tried to throw Marceau under the bus, talking about he had like 20 different, side chicks and affairs and all this other stuff. I just found that kind of interesting. That was kind of like, oh, okay. Now, so yes, there was no Benz. Oh, also, Arionne mentions that he did not, in fact, buy her a condo. He did not buy her a house. She is actually living in an apartment. And he has paid the rent and all that kind of stuff, but she does not have a condo bought and purchased by Martell at all. Okay? She also cleared up the rumor about Melody coming to her house to fight her. Melody has shown up to her house, she said, to talk and to look for her husband, but she's never come to fight. She came with her hairstylist. She brought her hairstylist one time, and she's shown up, like I said, to look for her man, but she has never shown up to fight. So I actually enjoyed the podcast between these three. I'm so glad that Funky Dineva was there, though, because again, I don't know. There's just something there's some kind of disconnect for me when it comes to Tasha K vlogging on this when I know she doesn't watch the show. So it just came from a different, so I'm so glad that Storm was there, and more than anything, Funky Dineva was there. I love Funky Dineva, okay? I don't always agree with everything he said, but I truly love Funky Dineva, and I thought he brought a very mature perspective to this podcast and to the three of them talking. Tasha K talked about how she was once a side chick and how when women are young, they're manipulated and they can be manipulated, and the money will make lots of young girls do a lot of things. But I have to kind of critique Tasha on one thing. Tasha put out there while she was talking that Arionne was pregnant, at one point pregnant by Martell, and she went to the chop shop. And she spoke that out there, and that's just not true. And the reason why I know that's not true is because Arionne said it on the phone call that she has never gotten pregnant by Martell. And what's so crazy about how she said it is just downright trifling and silly as fuck. But, you know, thoughts really don't have a lot of like dignity. She said, and let me put it, y'all gonna be like, what? She said that she would never have a baby by somebody else's husband. Okay, now she has a daughter that's 7 that obviously she had before she met Martell. But she said, Arionne said, I don't want all that drama in my life. I would never have a baby by another woman's husband. But you will screw another woman's husband. Screwing is cool, but you would never go as far as to have a baby by another woman's husband. And Tasha put that out there, and she did not correct herself. And that she got to be careful about stuff like that. Like I said, we put stuff, sometimes we put stuff out there that we get something, like I got the car wrong and all that stuff. But saying that this woman got pregnant by Martell when she did not, and saying that she had an abortion by Martell when she's never been pregnant by Martell. And Tasha just kind of let that fly, you know, and I know she'll probably blame it on the wine, even though she wasn't drinking or something like that. But Tasha got to be really careful about being reckless like that. I don't know if she misspoke, but she definitely misspoke, because that's not true. And if you listen to Arionne speak, Arionne clearly makes it plain that she ain't trying to get me pregnant by Martell. All right. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is Funky Dineva said something that I just thought was funny as hell. So they was talking about side chicks and sleeping with other people's people. And Funky Dineva asked Storm Monroe, have you ever fucked another woman's husband? And that was just funny to me, because I know, listen, I ain't trying to get in Storm's business. I don't care if he gay or straight, but I felt like Funky Dineva's gaydar was like, beep, 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 beep. And I think people just looking at Storm like, Storm, come on out the closet. I don't care if you gay or straight. It don't matter to me, Storm. But that was just funny that Funky Dineva would ask him, have you ever fucked another woman's husband? I don't know, y'all, but that was funny. I want you guys to watch the entire video. I'm going to put the link below, and tell me what you guys think about this whole thing, because like I said, this is drama. It's still drama going on with Melody, Martell, and Arionne. And that's kind of it. I'm just going to get started on my Love and Hip Hop review, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.